This is Bluebirdplays, and we are continuing our playthrough of Ambre.
Today is going to be a great day. I'm so happy to be here. Ha! False optimism.
Yeah, you do that a lot. Oh yeah, all these
myself.
letters. Yes. We also have our guest appearance of my bird. He doesn't really have a name, we just call him Bird.
What the hell is this over to the left-hand middle side?
Left hand.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, you'll see that later. Anyway.
What the...
Anyway, let's see. It would be would it be... Yeah, okay. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead. Alright, so do you want to narrate or do you want me to narrate?
I will go back on narration duties. A new routine seized Ambre. It was out of the question for her to stay a little girl. She wanted to grow as prematurely as a butterfly, its beauty cursed by its ephemeral life. You're 12, stop this! Thus became a kind of adolescence. She no longer woke up in the morning when the 30-year-old went to work. She waited until midday to surface and took her meal at that time.
Is it loading?
No, I'm sitting here. This is going in a really weird direction, like, immediately.
Yep.
It became...
I told you the weird stuff would start coming up.
Okay, she's like going hyper teenager? What?
Just, you'll see.
Tristan did not call it his usual hour anymore. He knew that she would not be in a good mood. After a brief meal, the young girl watched television while leafing through magazines bought with her benefactor's pocket money. Her afternoon ranged between American TV shows and beauty tips. Between the pages of magazines, she learned how to seduce men. A leitmotif she liked a lot. She wanted Tristan to look at her from another angle and in a different way. To be seen as a woman, she had to act as a woman, but she absolutely didn't know how to do this. And slowly we approached the wall.
Or the line.
These magazines, which were overflowing with tips of all kinds, appeared her to be an El Dorado. Through the articles, she learned how to act and how to be a true lady. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It wasn't very complicated. She only had to keep close watch on her gestures, to control every movement perfectly so as to convey the best image possible. She tracked down all human weakness, every inconvenience, and walked with a relaxed air and self-assurance designed not to frighten or crush. Ambre shook her head while she was reading the magazine article. God. All the text. Of course, she had to be open and smiling. Not so much she came across exuberant. She had to laugh often, but not too loudly, and never in a hysterical manner. She had to be independent while taking initiative, but only if the situation was favorable and at the same time non-threatening. She had to show herself to be as natural as possible while enhancing all of her advantages with makeup. Ambre understood the necessity of buying some in order to be a true woman, and finally to dress in a manner feminine enough to enhance while being at the same time sober enough as not to attract unwanted attention. Yeah, this game is proving it. I would not stand a chance of being a woman.
It's a bit tough, I'll tell you.
She learned how to listen to men, and that talking too much was a sign of egotism, and that she should be discreet, while also present and available for when he really needed it without being too obvious. As she turned page after page, the young girl felt a pressing urge to spend all of her money on the products shown in the advertisements and praised by the journalists. After all, Cosmo couldn't be wrong. These are 50 tips that would help a man in bed. After all, she would need them in order to seduce... No, God. I was joking, I didn't read ahead. Why didn't I read ahead before I cracked that one? She would need them in order to seduce Tristan. Don't use Cosmo, Ambre. There is no reason to read Cosmo. They don't know Shiza. How could she have the slightest chance without cheating a little? Well, the first step is not to cheat.
Exactly. I think the magazines are just like her guide right now.
She is reading Cosmo. Furthermore, a revealing psychological test claimed that Ambre would gain more affection acting like a fragile little girl.
That's why you avoid teen magazines.
So, she's basically learning, I need to act like a woman, but I need to act like a fragile little girl. You know, like I was, 8 years ago when I was first found, or something like that.
Yes.
I don't like a lot of the words about to be being used. Men needed to be reassured of their virility and of their role. Also, she was herself too vulnerable, too frail. She couldn't manage anything worthy without help. She had to find validation in his eyes. Validation in her very existence. Because he totally didn't just take you in off the streets.
Oh, sorry. If he thinks that I'm pretty, I'll be pretty. Like on that photograph.
Like this, Ambre spent her afternoons reading tips, training herself, and concealing herself. Remember, conceal, don't feel. When she wasn't watching soap operas, she was shopping in the city to buy clothes, accessories, and cosmetics. You know, off this meager paper pusher's salary.
I know, right?
She's gonna be a great wife. The city, like the television, showed her visions of absolute and infinite love, of perfect and pure love. It was a drug, an obligation, a flawless pleasure, and an order. Every billboard sold the same dream. Oh, cliché, oh, so desirable. It followed after the fairy tale formula. They all lived happily ever after, with abundant wealth and many children. The heroines of romances and films all ran after the same goal, that of profit, ease, luxury. A life where everything was easy, but where everything had lost its taste. It was a dull life and a hollow one. It was an eternal masquerade. But this existential emptiness was easy to fill. One only had to consume and be consumed. Alright, this is going into a weird fetish area.
That's not vor, okay?
One only needed to devote one's soul to removing every trace of nature to hide the grotesque natural body. The body that was too personal, too imperfect, too real to be replaced with a mirage. What the... This is some kind of, philosophy 4000 bullhogging. What is... What is happening here?
Ambre is just she's in her mind, she's just thinking of all the things the magazines are telling her. This is exactly what magazines and TV and everything says.
I've read Vogue. There are more than 4 syllables in some of these words. You can't get that much out of Vogue. This is some serious philosophical bullshiza. One only needed to spend without restraint in order to conquer the piggy bank of one's dreams. That machine that gave banknotes and weak orgasms. Yeah, we just used that word. And weak orgasms in order to make oneself into a diamond, a beautiful shiny trinket that everyone should have in one's living room, destroying one's own immaterial value and replacing it with the coin of the realm. Why does a 12-year-old girl know that? Japan must have much better sex ed than we have in America.
Oh, no joke.
all I remember is, if you have sex, that will happen to your penis and it will fall off. And don't you think about finger banging my daughter. No, that needs to be edited out.
No, I'm totally keeping that in there.
I think other people you hang out with are going to grow to not like me.
Probably.
And the one basked in idleness, turning around in one's cage, without purpose to continue living with dignity, wandering like a lost soul, disguised as a clown with too much red paint on the face. The result? A grim robot. A solemn simulacrum. Bonus points if you get that one. One needs to fill the lack, the absence of life, the disease that devours one's blood and all one's authenticity with money. Always more money. I'm actually kind of lost here. I'm not sure like what the context is anymore. I think this is some kind of like developer hate against capitalism. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Capitalism. One has to buy, until one forgets discomfort and one's senses of ill-being. I see what you're doing in here. Ambre admired today's celebrities. Oh, I almost forgot we were talking about her. Those exuded not even the slightest trace of life, and whose uninspired songs only glorified a permanent state of pleasure. Pleasure without work. Case in point, Tristan Malmen. Like massively reduced Barbie dolls. Why am I staring at her? What was that?
What?
And it clicked in and out of the screen.
Oh, sorry.
There.
Is it still up?
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure everything was up. I don't want you going through like paragraphs of stuff and then like it's not recording. So I'll make sure, you know.
Cut there. That's a cut there. Take two. Like massively produced Barbie dolls clones by the dozens, such celebrities merged into a single canon of unsurpassed beauty deemed absolute truth. And some of those celebrities should be stuffed into canons. Outcast beauty and absolute truth. The stars dived into this endless cycle of vanity with such ease. It was truly fascinating. Like a Discovery Channel special.
Those are rather fascinating.
Well, except it's on E, or VH1's Behind the Music.
Yeah.
Wait, on VH1's Behind the Music. Ambre. No. Every minute that passed after a singer's... Okay, I was just kidding about... I gotta stop reading. I gotta start reading ahead. Come on. Every minute that passed after a singer's first success was a minute of intense scrutiny as the whole world glued its eyes on the morbid show that was her slow suffocation and imminent drowning, or if you're William Hung, that terrible Christmas album.
I still need to listen to that.
He did a Christmas album.
It can't be that bad.
It's nowhere near as good as his American Idol tryout.
Oh.
Nowhere near that good. Nothing could bring more exquisite pleasure, nor be a prettier sight, than that of young women slowly being engulfed by the shadowy tentacles of their dreams.
Hentai? Hentai.
Hideki wa hentai. They sacrificed their bodies to the cuts of plastic surgery scalpels to the point where they no longer resembled themselves anymore. To the point where they transformed into some kind of wonderful monsters.
With tentacles.
Yes, with tentacles. Giggity. They had rejected their personalities and histories to blend in with the world, to conform themselves to the public's every expectation, to become the shop windows of modern times and the faces of single form of happiness advertised at every street's corner. Does that say milk fashion down there in one of those signs?
Yes, that is a
milk.
Yeah, milk fashion, yeah.
And I think happiness that our little Ambre longingly gazed upon.
Maybe it's like MIL like Milwaukee fashion.
Or maybe that's
And then like the K looking thing is like a heart.
well, maybe that's some kind of stylized F, or it's
MILF?
Yes, it's the MILF store. MIL fashion. Mothers in love with fashion.
Oh, alright.
Who doesn't love MILF? We're gonna get canceled. Oh wait, we can't get canceled.
Nope, we have to make money first.
We have to have sponsors first.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting there recording it out of our garage, aka my happy little dungeon.
AKA kinky.
While becoming a star seemed out of her reach, looking like one was a duty that the tabloids never ceased to remind her of, or the Loch Ness Monster for that matter. You shouldn't read tabloids. Vampire babies. That frivolous media, tabloids, with so little fuss and so many consequences, like vampire babies.
Loch Ness Monster, absolutely real. I don't care what you say. She's somewhere in there, and I believe. Thank you.
Oh, hi. I almost forgot he existed. When Tristan Mallory came home at the end of his working day, he would find Ambre already taking care of him by trying to cook delicious meals. The ever-so-elegant Ambre craved to always show her best, becoming the perfect little strong-willed housewife. He was past the point of missing the innocent days, but, in all honesty, he didn't understand why the young lady was putting so much effort into becoming such a perfect creature. 'Cause girls are crazy, man.
They are.
One evening, while she was cooking a special dish from a recipe she'd learned on TV, the whole thing accompanied by a candlelit table, in order to celebrate his birthday, he dared to ask, "Say, Ambre, why are you doing so much for me?" The too honest question came like a hammer's blow. His complete incomprehension sounded like an insult. She'd probably spent hours gussying up in the bathroom to look fresh and at her best, and the hours had gone into tidying the house, cleaning every nook and cranny until it was spotless. She'd probably spent hours decorating and hours tending to his God-forsaken roast, laboriously cutting vegetables, and here he was asking why she was trying this hard.
Sounds like a woman to me.
The knife fell on her. Okay. Well, she's not holding the knife anymore. This isn't gonna quite go, you Nicky. The knife in her hands fell violently to the floor, emitting a metallic sound that meant nothing good.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Ambre's voice trembled dangerously. Getting close, he noticed her frenetically shaking hands. "Run away! Run away!" Eyes wide open, soaked in tears, she exploded.
Because I want you to love me. I want you to look at me. Why don't you ever look at me?
Because you've gotten fat since we got married, Alice.
Am I not good enough? Is that it? Will I never be as good as she... Wait. I will never be as good as she was, will I?
She? But Ambre, who are you talking about? Dumbfounded, Tristan held her in his arms as tightly as he could to prevent the stabbings. The terrible, terrible stabbings. No, he definitely couldn't understand. He couldn't understand such intense and sudden sobs. Reassured by his gesture, Ambre wanted to explain herself.
I'm sorry. I'll never be able to replace her.
Who are you trying to replace, Ambre? Tell me.
Your wife. I can see her departure left you very sad. I wanted to bring a smile back to your face. I wanted to take her place so you'd forget about her.
For a split second, Tristan Mallory was breathless. It was surreal. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. He would have pinched himself to make sure he wasn't dreaming, but no. The pain in his chest was far too real, too pitifully carved in him. How could he answer such a declaration? How could he find the right words? Use your words. Use your words. So help me God, you better use your words. Catching his breath with difficulty, the 30-year-old man, yes, you are a 30-year-old man, took Ambre by the shoulders and looked her in the eyes for a long time. After a sigh, he affirmed. Yes, you give the affirmative. Listen, I'll never be able to forget my wife, alright? It's impossible. But that doesn't mean I don't want you. It's the exact opposite, actually. You're very dear to me, Ambre. You hear me? I need you. You already have her place. So please, stop crying. Don't make it harder than it is. The young girl shyly dried her tears, and her features changed to an adorably naive expression. She looked sincerely despaired.
You're okay with me?
What made you think I'd abandon you, huh?
Nothing. It's just that you seem to love her so much. I'm a bit jealous.
Why is that?
I don't know. When I look at those pictures, I can't help but tell myself I must absolutely make you happy. I think I love you.
Tristan suddenly remembered he's a 30-year-old man and called Detective Services. No, that would be a perfect world. That would be a right world. It doesn't quite go like that. Instead, Tristan felt all the courage and determination he had worked up melting, and he started sobbing as well. But, I love you too. It's always been like that. I love you so much it makes me sick.
For real? You're not treating me like a kid?
She's a child, man. Of course not.
Then, prove it.
How should I? I'm not even trying at this point.
You know where this is going. Alright. Alright. Show me. You. Even the bear is upset right now.
He has every right to be upset.
Show me you love me like a man loves a woman.
When a man loves a woman. You want me to do that? Ambre silently nodded. She seemed dead set on it, so Tristan slowly and softly kissed her on the lips. The warm and pleasurable feeling went to his head. For a few seconds, he felt as if he was holding his wife in his arms. He thought she had really come back. You're eyeing that line, man. You are eyeing the line. The delicate, vanilla-scented skin reminded him of happy days, long afternoons spent in the sun, of laughter, of peaceful evenings under the light of the stars, or by a fire, or beneath a shared umbrella in a storm. She was here, so close, so far, within a finger's reach. He only had to close his eyes and believe in this dream. The illusion smiled faintly at him. At his limit, he embraced her. If only you knew how much I love you. He had so many things he wished to tell her, so many that the words got stuck in his throat, unable to escape. So, since he lacked the words to make her understand what he was feeling, he used his body. I don't like a fade to black like that. No. We're done here.
To be continued.